light went down, but they are up and fired up, as is Sam's Army, and we're just about set for kickoff. There's U.S. men's national team head coach Bruce Arena seeking his 53rd career win at the helm, and these are the things he's hoping to accomplish tonight, or at least really keeping a good eye on tonight, Marcelo.
The back line has to stay organized. Flank base is going to be key today, getting up and down the wing, and aggressive counterattack. If Jamaica throws a lot of guys forward, they're going to have a lot of room to counterattack.
The manager for Jamaica, Brazilian native Sebastião Lazzaroni, this is his second time at the helm of Jamaica. He's coached in 7 countries and 3 continents. In 1989, he was head coach of the Brazilian national team. There is young Landon Donovan. Brian McBride, the former Columbus Crew forward, now playing in England, back on his old home turf, and one of the few vets, if you will, that is starting tonight. Sane in the back, Casey Keller in the net, Pablo Mastroeni certainly with World Cup experience. That's about it. I'm not sure you can call Corey Gibbs a vet.
He's not a vet yet. This is his first year really into the team. And you got Ramiro Corrales, who's another guy who's new. So, I mean, it's a young team.
And we are underway from Columbus. We would like to thank Budweiser and all of our U.S. soccer sponsors for allowing us to bring you this game without interruption. English Premier League-like conditions today. Some fog, dampness, misty. As we take a look at Jamaica, several players on this starting 11 for Jamaica play their professional ball in England, so this is not a drastic alteration for them.
And you got Ricketts, the back 4. Goodison is the captain. Stewart is another guy you have to watch out for. In the midfield, they're going to play 4, but they're going to play nobody out on the left. So you're going to see Whitmore and Williams both trying to control the middle and to the right side, and up front, 2 guys the U.S. have to be careful for, and that's Fuller and Damani Ralph.
Free kick for Jamaica, sent down the side. That ball skips in. Too much on that one for Damani Ralph. And you can tell something a little different with tonight's game ball. The Nike High Viz ball making its debut with the U.S. national team tonight. It's being used during the winter months in all the English Premier League and Spanish La Liga games. And hard to miss it. There it is, yellow and blue. Feels like a Champions League qualifier in Iceland, just looking at that ball. Well won by Steve Ralston. Brian McBride tripped up. First foul on Jamaica. Pablo Mastroeni of the Colorado Rapids walks off, and Chris Albright, the LA Galaxy, takes it. Good hustle by Ralston to break up that initial pass. Falls back to Donovan Ricketts, 27-year-old, plays in the 2nd division in England. Outlets it to Craig Zadie. Off of Landon Donovan. U.S. men's national team following Will Ferrell's lead and going old school tonight. Replica jerseys that the U.S. wore in their historic 1-0 victory over England back in the 1950 World Cup. Theodore Whitmore, the captain, lays it back to James Lawrence. Whitmore gets it back. Under pressure, goes down. Mastroeni with the steal. No whistle as we play on. Whitmore finding Fuller. Now the big cat, Tony Sane's there. Outlets it to Andy Williams. The service over the head of Damani Ralph. And Steve Ralston will have it for the U.S.
And you can already see Jamaica starting to push a few more guys forward. They're playing almost 3 in the back, 2-man markers and a sweeper. They're going to have to force their outside guys, at least one of those guys, to go outside and get involved in the play.
Eddie Johnson in a foot race, and he's pushed off. Horrible ball by Ricketts. Johnson hustles to win it. Looking for help, goes back to Ralston. Ralston, great service. Finds McBride. Bruce Arena told us yesterday the flank play is going to be very key. Steve Ralston, one of the best crossers in Major League Soccer, he said that's like a carrot out there for the forwards. You know they're going to be making strong, powerful runs if there's a guy like Ralston out there who can send it in and flight it for them.
And, you always have a little more confidence when you have a guy that you know that can put a ball into the space so you can meet it. But I think this is the other thing we're going to look for tonight. We talked about the Central American goalkeepers on crosses, how they were not good. Tonight you have to look. A lot of the island goalkeepers are not very good with their feet. And we already saw one example of it. He tried to kick a ball, miss-hit it, and then he tried to punt a ball and hit it right back into Eddie Johnson. That's something we're going to have to watch.
Gucci on Yewood sends it out to Chris Albright. Finds Eddie Johnson. To the captain, Donovan. He takes a hard hit. U.S. gets a lucky bounce. Jamaica wins it back. Craig Zadie of the Metro Stars plays it to Williams. Zadie and Williams both left unprotected for the upcoming MLS expansion draft, which will be shown live on ESPN News 4 Eastern this Friday afternoon. Albright, the steal. Tough ball for Johnson to handle. Ramiro Corrales, the San Jose Earthquakes, finds Dallas Burns, Corey Gibbs. Ostroweni to Corrales. Square ball, Ralston. Sliding tackle by Goodison. Here comes Jamaica. Trying to chip one over the top. Sane will be the focus of our halftime feature. Heads it down. This portion of the match presented by Gatorade. Foul on Corrales. Last time these two teams met, it was a 1-1 game in Kingston. Brian Ching coming off the bench and scoring with just minutes left. Damian Stewart wide to Zadie. Fuller holding off his man. Nice ball from Tyrone Marshall. One touch to Williams. Too strong.
You can also see Corey Gibbs here out on the left. They've been looking for a little more depth. They put Corey Gibbs out, and you see he's not really playing almost in the back line. He's been pushing up a lot, trying to get into the offensive side, and also, too, stepping up closer to Andy Williams, so Andy Williams hasn't got any of the ball in the first 5-6 minutes.
Well, what a settle by McBride. Johnson. Back to Ralston. Here's a break for Jamaica. And a little slippage there. Turnover, U.S. Donovan. McBride thinking about going over the top to Johnson, and does now. Johnson heads it down to Donovan. Goodison on his back. Out of bounds. Throw in for the visitors. Rumor has it Landon Donovan sleeps with that captain's armband under his pillow. I'm serious about this. Don't give me that smile, Marcelo. He really has taken to this privilege and this honor of captaining the U.S. It's something you've done. You know what the territory is.
No, there's no. I mean, it's an honor. There's no doubt about it. I've never slept with it under my pillow, but it was definitely, it's definitely an honor to wear it, and you know, and especially when the coach and the players all agree on it.
Here is Donovan. Ralston trying to lose his man. Ostroweni with time. Corrales. He can strike it from that range with that left. McBride posting up. Loses it to Tyrone Marshall. One touch by Whitmore out wide. Andy Williams goes low but can't keep it in. Andy Williams, the Chicago Fire. He may be playing with yet another MLS team next season. Pretty sure nobody has played with more teams in MLS than Andy Williams.
Yeah, you know, it doesn't matter what team you play for. As long as you have a job, you can keep playing soccer. And that's what it's about for a lot of these guys.
Looking for McBride. Handles that one well. Defender slips. Back to Ralston. Ralston's been very active early on. The criticism about his play is he can do it in MLS, but once he hits that national team level, he kind of disappears.
But he's been inconsistent, there's no doubt about it. He had a good U.S. Cup a few years ago. He came on, then he kind of dropped off again. And when you get to this level, it has to be consistency. You win your position in practice, you keep your position in the game. And Ralston has to come out tonight and play how he's been playing in the MLS, getting up and down the wing, getting some good crosses, getting some shots up. He needs to be involved in the game for 90 minutes.
Played out by Onyewu, who plays his professional ball in Belgium. Played collegiately at Clemson. What a figure he strikes on the field. 6'2", 180, the only Maryland native goes. Panama and El Salvador, the other game in this Group 1 underway. Both those teams need to win to have any chance of moving on to the final round of World Cup qualifying. A tie does neither of them any good at all.
Was he yelling out for? He's like, hey guys, you have the ball.
Craig Zadie. Long ball over the top of Damani Ralph. Onyewu. Sane, those two paired up in the middle of the four-man U.S. backline tonight. Eddie Johnson, 4 goals in his last 2 games. They also happen to be his only 2 games for the U.S. men's national team. Had a hat trick in their last qualifier versus Panama. This portion of the match presented by Chevrolet. Johnson back to Ralston. St. Louis native dribbling through to Donovan. Headed up but not out. Ralston crashing, can't get to it. Falls to Mastroeni. Fakes the service. Blocks, and that'll go for the first corner kick of the game. And the captain will take it for the U.S. Very tall lineup for the U.S. tonight.
Very tall, and I think set pieces tonight are going to be very key under these conditions.
12th minute, sent in. Onyewu was in a position. Drops down to Corrales. Lefty drives one up and over into Sam's Army. On December 8th, make sure to be a part of history as ESPN Classic and ESPN Broadband bring you live coverage of Mia Hamm and Julie Foudy's final game with the U.S. women's national team, 11 Eastern, 8 Pacific, from the Home Depot Center, the final fan celebration game. Albright wins that one. Ralston looking for Johnson. Settles with the chest. One back by Tyrone Marshall. And swung across the field to Zadie. This is Zadie's 21st appearance for the Jamaican national team. Stewart, long ball. Drops to the captain, Whitmore. All the way to Casey Keller. Keller finds himself playing with the new team in England these days. Signed a 1-month loan deal with Southampton, and they quickly put him to work, and he won a 2-1 victory last Saturday. Albright. Ralston has McBride, drops it off to Johnson, fires. That's not much of a fire. Kept alive by Onyewu. Falls to Ralston. Johnson has it. Oh, what a save by Ricketts. He was looking for his 5th goal. What a chance for that young man. Good defense by Tony Sane. Lays it back to Corrales. Dallas.
Look at Brian McBride, plays a great ball, but look, there's a diagonal run, and what a great save. Rickett comes out, keeps his legs closed, and just saves it with his knees. But that's what we were talking about. You make the runs at this level, you're going to get the balls. Now you just have to finish. Good look by McBride and good pass into Eddie Johnson.
Eddie Johnson, who heads it down to Ralston, his game used to be solely speed. Now he's really matured in his understanding how to make the runs. And the players are responding. Here's some speed from Johnson, onside. Driving towards frame, lefty, and scores! Eddie Johnson continues his amazing goal-scoring streak and nails the dismount. He now has 5 international goals in 3 games.
You talk about maturity, timing of the run. Look at that run, and then how smart he is. He plays it into his left foot, bends it to the far post past Ricketts. This is my favorite part. Look at that, he gets his head up, puts it to his left foot, and puts it in the back, and then it past Ricketts and puts him up 1-0 in the 15th minute.
You know where he learned that celebration from, don't you? Jason Kreis, his former teammate for FC Dallas. Jason Kreis was traded to Real Salt Lake City this week. But Eddie Johnson just continues to impress. Bruce Arena told us, you know, this kid has been good ever since I brought him into camp, and I thought about dressing him earlier.
But, you know, but there's a sign of a good coach. Doesn't throw him in, doesn't throw the pressure right away, gets him in slowly by slowly. You got to put him in a position where he's going to succeed. And I tell you what, Bruce Arena with the young guys has done a great job of that, of putting them in the right situation where there's not too much pressure and letting them succeed.
Turnover, Ralston cuts back. This push in the match is presented by Chiquita. Chris Albright, good position as he shields his man and keeps the ball in possession of the U.S. This is not what Jamaica needs right now. Jamaica could very well see their qualifying run end tonight. If they lose, and either Panama or El Salvador is victorious in their head-to-head battle tonight, Jamaica stays home, and the winner of Panama-El Salvador advances. Who would have figured that one? Clearly, U.S. and Jamaica were the 2 best teams on paper in this Group 1 of Regional World Cup qualifying. Again, the U.S. is already qualified regardless of tonight's outcome.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, you hate to say it, but you would not want to see Jamaica go through. Jamaica's one of those teams that all of a sudden they just kick it in. They start playing good soccer. They've got a lot of dangerous players playing in Europe. You've seen Panama. You'd say easier chance playing against Panama or against an El Salvador than instead of a Jamaica.
Things not getting easier for that man. Lazzaroni said this game is the most important for us, for Jamaican soccer, for the nation, for the federation, but we must not let it be pressure on us. Yeah, that doesn't sound like any pressure at all.
Not at all.
Eddie Johnson, this again, folks, his first start in, actually it's just his first start for the U.S. men's national team. 5 goals in 61 minutes. Folks, that is an unbelievable goals to minute average. 5 goals in a career with the U.S. men's national team is nothing.
And that's what we talked about. That's what we talked about. Timing, when he makes the run, they play the ball. They don't make that extra cut. They wait till as soon as he makes the run, they play him the ball, and the timing was absolutely phenomenal on that play.
Pablo Mastroeni with the assist. Landon Donovan with the chance for an assist right now as he'll take this free kick. Again, a lot of big, tall, menacing American bodies roaming in that box right now. Donovan. Oh, well won by Zadie. Powerful header. And the U.S. keeps it alive. Here's Chris Albright. Sends it back in. Donovan, or rather McBride, down to Sane. Here's Landon Donovan. Redlands, California native to Mastroeni. Onyewu, McBride. Corey Gibbs settles, spins, blocked by Ricketts. Donovan, far post, Johnson is there. Craig Zadie's down on the field, took a shot in the face as Andy Williams plays that one out of bounds. Donovan Ricketts also down in the nets for Jamaica.
So like, here's a good look. The great ball over the top of McBride, and McBride's just trying to get it back across, but look at Gibbs. Brings it down with his chest. Here come Ricketts. Boom. Great save. Still on the ground, but look, here comes Landon putting it far post, trying to find Eddie Johnson. Great sequence. They're in there, they're battling, putting the ball back in the box, and then you see Ricketts go down, and you see Zadie go down, probably with an elbow to the face.
Yeah, nobody tending to Ricketts. All the medical attention on Zadie as we take another look.
That's a great ball in from Pablo Mastroianni. But look at him getting his head up. He's real calm, and he just picks his corner and buries it. And a great look from the Phillips goal cam right there. Past the goalkeeper, fakes him out near post, goes far post.
There's Eddie Johnson talking to Brian McBride. Craig Zadie. Obviously a shot to the nose and some blood. There's Eddie Johnson, who very soon will be heading over to England for a 2-week training stint with Manchester United, where he'll be hooking up with Tim Howard and a young man who's on the bench today for the U.S. men's national team, Jonathan Spector.
You know, the year he's having, great opportunity, 2 weeks of maturing even more, seeing what it's like to be a professional in England. And this kid, the potential he has for this team and for Dallas, and I'd hate to be the general manager of Dallas right now trying to re-sign him.
This portion of the match presented by Phillips as they continue to tend to Craig Zadie.
Go back, please. Stay back, please.
There's Pablo Mastroianni, who was given the assist on the Ed Johnson goal in the 15th minute. Rather long delay here as Landon Donovan throws it in and out of bounds. Nice show of sportsmanship. One more look and sound from the Jamaican angle on that goal in the 15th minute.
Way from behind the defenders again. He's in the box. He shoots. He scores! The United States are 1-0 up in the 15th minute of the third choice.
Scott Thornkill with the call on that one. Team Jamaica in the booth right next to us. I don't think the folks back in Jamaica offside had any reason to anticipate the fact that their team would need really a result, in all honesty, in the final game of qualifying on the road in the U.S. to advance. This is a rich soccer tradition, as there's the Jamaican broadcasting team. Yeah, I think just about everybody would have said Jamaica will move on with the U.S. That's why they play the game. Hustling McBride out of bounds.
And you know, that's the beauty of soccer. Any day, anybody can beat anybody. We've seen Panama, what they do to the U.S. in Panama. I mean, teams have gotten so much better. They're starting to find players. They're starting to develop more players. And it's a much closer race. And once you get into the final 6, it's even going to be harder to get a win on the road and try to win at home.
There will be 6 teams moving on to the final round of World Cup qualifying. Only 3 have already booked their place, that being the United States, Guatemala, and Mexico. Trinidad and Tobago has all but qualified to move on as well. Costa Rica and Honduras battling for that other spot, as are the 3 other teams in the U.S.'s group, Jamaica, Panama, and El Salvador.
You also got to remember, Jamaica is one of the centers. Claude Davis isn't here. He's one of their starters, one of their bigger players. He's missing too.
Well, it'll all be settled tonight as all the other teams in this region are playing. Jamaica now forced to make a substitute in the 24th minute. And they are going offense early. Jason Ewell coming on.
Damian Stewart. He's being replaced.
Damian Stewart comes off.
Jermaine Hugh.
Sorry, that's Jermaine Huey coming on, not Jason Ewell. Huey, a midfielder. One of the best players in the Jamaican League. He's had some tryouts in England, but nothing has stuck yet. Here's some speed from the Reggae boys and a cutback. Williams faked the shot, falls to Zadie. On his right, peppers that one in, blocked by Corrales. So Lazzaroni takes out a defender and brings in the midfielder. Now we have an update from Panama City. Panama with a 2-goal lead early on El Salvador. Should that result stay, and this result here in Columbus stay, it's Panama and the U.S. moving on to the final round, and Jamaica is sent home to the islands with nothing. Wow. Bruce Arena was very political yesterday and talking about this match with Jamaica, saying, I like Jamaica. I like the country. There's a foul. Albright's taken down. I like the people. I respect their players. A lot of them are my friends. And he didn't treat this as, I want to get Jamaica knocked out of World Cup qualifying. I just want to win. There's no other way. I know how to play. But let me tell you, the rest of the teams in World Cup qualifying in this region would much rather see Panama than Jamaica.
Well, you know what? You go hand in hand. You want to win, that means you're going to knock out Jamaica. So you don't say it, but you say it in a roundabout way. You come out to win every game. You come out, you win. You're already in, but you come out to win every game. And as you're a player, let's look at it from a player's point of view. You're out here giving everything you got because you're fighting for a spot. One, to make the qualifying team for next time, and you're fighting for a spot on the 22. So there's no doubt. There's no way you're coming in and saying, it doesn't matter. You come in here to play and to earn a spot.
This portion of the match presented by the Home Depot. We have another score update coming for you in just seconds. This is from Group 3 of Regional World Cup qualifying. Throw in for the visitors. Onyewu overplays that one. Ricardo Fuller gets by. Corrales trips him up in the box, and that's a PK. 27th minute, Jamaica with a very important chance to equalize. The United States has never given up a goal here at Cruz Stadium. What a chance for Jamaica to end that streak. Andy Williams of the Chicago Fire attempting to equalize in the 28th. Williams, yes!
Look at the whole sequence right here. The ball comes in. There it is. He's pulling. He gets punched. You got to keep going. There was a foul there, but the first foul was on Onyewu. Look at it. He's grabbing. He's pulling. He throws a punch. The referee lets it go. Here comes Corrales. Fuller's smart. He touches it by him. He sees Corrales dive in. He lets himself go. Referee has to call that.
Andy Williams, his 13th international goal, and life has just been put back in the lungs of Jamaican fans. Donovan tripped up, and this will be a card. First yellow card of the game. Ricardo Gardner.
You know, it was just a reckless tackle. He played it, and you see Landon was smart. He sees him coming, land, jumps off the ground so he doesn't get hit too bad. But tonight you're going to see a lot of those. The ground is wet when you slide. You're going to slide an extra 3 or 4 feet.
Again, Panama with a 2-0 lead right now. This tie, if that stays, does Jamaica no good. Panama would leapfrog them with a 3-point win. A 1-point tie for Jamaica means nothing for them. Donovan, driven ball. Ricketts sprawls to save it. Ed Johnson tripped up. He has the U.S. goal tonight. His 5th international goal came in the 15th minute. Another set piece for the U.S. A lot of 6-foot somethings in white for the U.S. Sane, Gibbs, McBride, Johnson, Onyewu. All go 6 foot plus. Corrales, right to Ricketts. This portion of the match presented by Gatorade. Trinidad Tobago with a 1-goal victory, and they are through. So Mexico and Trinidad and Tobago are the 2 teams from Group 3 who will advance to the final round of World Cup qualifying. So they join the United States. 3 of the 6 teams have been confirmed. Jamaica trying to be the 4th. Rather, trying to be the 5th. Guatemala has also advanced. So it's Guatemala, the U.S., Mexico, and Trinidad and Tobago that have moved on. 2 more spots left. Another foul.
And you can see what Jamaica's already trying to do. They're trying to slow down the rhythm. They don't want the U.S. getting into rhythm. The first 10-15 minutes, U.S. got into rhythm. They got their goal. Now every time the U.S. tries to get the ball, they're taking them down. But here's the thing. You can't keep giving them set pieces with the guys the U.S. have. They've got big bodies in there. You need to hold them up and not foul them this far out the goal.
Landon Donovan to take this one. Looking for Gibbs. Kept alive by Ralston. Cleared out by Jamaica, but throw in for the U.S.
This has to be the biggest back line I've ever seen the U.S. have out there.
Back line of the U.S., Chris Albright, Tony Sane, Gucci Onyewu, and Corey Gibbs. Here's Eddie Johnson. Thought that one crossed the line. It didn't. James Lawrence outlets it to Ralph, and Onyewu does the wise thing and just play it out. Alongside Marcelo Balboa, I'm Rob Stone, live with you from Cruz Stadium. Your impressions of the opening minutes for both teams?
I think the U.S. command did real well. They came out, they knocked the ball, they got Ralston involved, they got Corey Gibbs involved. You see Eddie Johnson making great diagonal runs. Now they need to get back to doing what they were doing. They need to settle down. They got the goal scored on them, no big deal. They need to settle down and now keep playing, knock it around, get it wide, and make these guys a 2 center forward start making the diagonal runs.
The way Eddie Johnson is playing lately and tonight, if this was a full U.S. team, if they could call in their full complement of players, is he on that roster, and does he start, in your mind?
The way he's been playing right now, I think Bruce has done a good job of bringing him in slowly but slowly. There's not too much pressure on this game. There's not a must-win game. You don't have to really get a result. It would be nice to win, yes. If you lose, you're still into the next round. But yes, I think you could give him a shot. Over the last 3 games, what he's done, I think he would definitely be fighting for one of those 2 spots.
Coach Arena said, we'll find out more about Eddie Johnson after tonight's start? What have we found out already?
You found out that he makes great diagonal runs. He can hold the ball up in the box. You've seen him take a ball with his back towards goal, get fouls, and that's what you want from a forward. You want a forward that's dangerous, he's fast, and you know what? The other thing, he creates things around the box, and he's done that.
Poor ball there from Ricardo Gardner, who plays in England for the Bolton Wanderers. Chris Albright getting the start at right fullback. Ralston. And another throw in for the U.S. Mastroeni, cross to Gibbs. Gibbs has been very proactive in the offensive department and almost got burned right there. Mastroeni slipped as that ball was intended for him, but Onyewu with a nice step up. United States, 8 wins, 1 loss, 5 ties this year, 7 shutouts. Unbeaten run, longest in team history.
You know, it was interesting too. We got an opportunity to watch Jamaica train yesterday, and we saw the coach, especially with Larson and with Tyrone Marshall, they had to stay in the middle and they had to slide as fast as they can from side to side to keep the middle closed.
Score from Group 2 of CONCACAF World Cup qualifying, and that tie is enough for Costa Rica to advance. So now 5 of the 6 teams for the final group of CONCACAF World Cup qualifying have been determined. Guatemala and Costa Rica, Mexico, Trinidad and Tobago, and the United States will all be moving on. 1 spot left, Jamaica trying to be that team. Sane, tough defense, forcing his man back. Andy Williams. Driven ball, trying to go over the top. Albright played that one very well. McBride with the steal. Wild clearance by Tyrone Marshall. Corrales the fake and pulls it back. This portion of the match presented by Budweiser. Corey Gibbs took a shove from Ralph.
You know what? I think that's more out of frustration. We're 37 minutes in. We haven't said a word about Damani Ralph. He plays in the MLS. The players on the United States know how to mark him. That to me was a surprise having him in the lineup. He hasn't really done much in 37 minutes, and you expect a lot more, especially when you're trying to qualify into the next round.
Ralph has 2 goals for his national team. This is his 16th appearance for Jamaica. Andy Williams, who converted the penalty kick in the 28th minute on the ball. The way that things are playing out right now, Jamaica has to win. We take a slow motion look at the Eddie Johnson goal right now.
And look, this is what we're talking. Look how smart he is. He gets his head up nice and calm. He sees the keeper, one look, and look at the bend around the keeper, just over his foot into the far corner. Did I say I like slow motion?
Yeah.
I'll say it again. Okay.
Casey Keller, 12 days shy of his 35th birthday with the goal kick. Casey Keller has been very quiet today. It's been goal kicks and pulling that one ball out of the net on the PK. Good look at the U.S. all-time win and shutout leader. Johnson, Mastroeni, Ralston spreads it wide right, overlapping Chris Albright. Donovan, back, Corrales. Albright sends one in. Damani Ralph. Onside, but Albright again is there. That one intended for Fuller. Sane with a ton of time. Long ball. And a foul on Fuller. Tony Sane, the subject of our halftime feature, which is coming up very soon. We'll also recap MLS Cup. Sane, born in St. Paul, Minnesota, played collegiately up in Wisconsin. Off McBride's head, cleared out by Zadie. Long ball on Yewu and Ralph collide. Wow, they call that one on Yewu. I got to tell you, I don't agree. Mauricio Navarro, the Canadian referee, with the call. He asked me and no one did. Damani Ralph wasn't even trying to play the ball.
Goes into...
He wasn't even looking.
Nah, clearly it should be a foul on Damani Ralph.
Absolutely.
You can see he doesn't even look up. He looks where he is. He throws his body into him. Smart on Damani Ralph's part. The referee should have seen that, didn't even go for the ball and let it go and let the U.S. have that ball.
That's a bad call, folks. But these things happen. So free kick now for Jamaica. Andy Williams, the right-footed option. Jermaine Hugh, the sub, the left-footed option. Looks like Williams wants this one. He already has one tonight. Andy Williams fakes it. Hugh tries it, skips right at Keller.
It's going to take a lot more from there to beat Casey Keller. Bent ball, skips before. I mean, good try. When you're skipping on the wet grass, maybe you get a funny bounce, but you're not going to beat Casey Keller from that distance with the pace of that ball.
First save of the game for Keller. Whitmore to Ralph. Ralph finds Gardner. And another foul on the U.S. An update from Panama City. It's now 3-0 for Panama. Well, El Salvador can pretty much break out their golf clubs. So again, that Panama win coupled with a Jamaican tie or loss means it's the U.S. and Panama moving on. Mastroeni just beat Whitmore to that one. And then flicks it to Donovan and lays one off to Ralston. Now, give Panama credit. They got absolutely spanked in D.C. by the U.S. in their last game, 6-0, and they are rebounding at home with a very impressive performance.
You know, and that's advantage Panama has. They're playing at home. Their last game, they know they need to win. Much easier to play at home than it is to play on the road. Jamaica, on the other hand, knows that they have to win. I'm sure somebody's given the coach on the bench the results. So, I mean, he's got to go in. At halftime, if you go on 1-1, the second half, I expect Jamaica to come out a lot more aggressive and to take a few more chances now.
They have no choice. And Bruce Arena was relishing the opportunity of Jamaica pushing forward with the speed he has on this field. He said, bring it on. We love to counterattack, and we can do it with this lineup. Johnson crashing, got in the way of Brian McBride, who probably a little better. I'm sorry, make that a lot better than Ed Johnson on aerial attacks.
Yeah, but you gotta like what Jamaica's already done. This is what I thought they should have done from the beginning. Tyrone Marshall in the back. He plays against these guys a little more solid. Plays for the Galaxy in the back. Now they put him in the back, and you see how Jamaica's kindly settled down in the back a little bit.
Coming up at halftime, he calls this stadium home. We'll profile Tony Sane and his return to MLS and the national team. We'll also recap Sunday afternoon's MLS Cup won by DC United, and we'll slow motion our first half highlights. That's all coming up at halftime. Donovan Ricketts having some glove issues. Well won by Onyewu. Zadie plays that one out of bounds. Corey Gibbs of the Dallas Burn. That left fullback spot is wide open. Gibbs played that position in the U.S. game versus El Salvador. Coach Arena thinks this may ultimately be his best position on the field.
Right, that's a good thing about the guys you have on this team. You can move them, you can interchange them. You got Carlos Bocanegra that can play on the left, that can play as a center back. You got Greg Vanny, who's another guy that can play with Bobby Convey, who can play the left. I think they have depth. They just need to find a guy consistently that can do the job day in and day out.
McBride. Run by Whitmore, or rather Fuller. Gardner stuffed.
The referee has added 2 minutes of stoppage time.
2 minutes of stoppage time will be added to the clock. Not much Ralph can do with those balls. That's going to skip out of bounds. Hasn't been a real creative offensive attack for Jamaica.
The only time they've been effective, they've gone down the left-hand side on a throw, and they got down. Before that, they beat Ralston one time down the left-hand side. They haven't really been effective trying to clip balls in over the top to try to hit the two forwards. On a night like this, it's going to be very tough to try to receive those balls and get going forward.
Jamaica with just one win in their first 5 games of World Cup qualifying in this stage. That is very surprising. Heck, they've had more head coaches in this round of qualifying than wins. Never a good thing, my friends. Pop Williams throw in for the U.S. Well, as Bruce Arena's about 20 seconds away from heading into the locker room. Scratch that. He's heading there right now. We'll talk about that later. Ed Johnson with the goal in the 15th minute. Andy Williams. Ed Johnson, his 5th international goal. Pablo Mastroeni with the assist on it. No substitutions by the U.S. as we are set to kick off the second half. U.S. hoping to regain that momentum they had to start off the game right away here on the opening kick. Last time the U.S. lost a home World Cup qualifier, May 31st of 1985. Wow. Jamaica really in dire straits as far as their hopes of continuing on with World Cup qualifying is going. They have to win right now since Panama is winning right now versus El Salvador. Jamaica does not win, they will be eliminated from World Cup qualifying. Eddie Johnson tracks it down, back to Ralston. One-time service. McBride settles. Drops it. Donovan. Mastroeni cleanly strikes it. We'd like to thank Phillips and all of our U.S. soccer sponsors for allowing us to bring you this game without interruption.
And that's a little better by the U.S. They get there. Great first-time ball by Ralston into the box. McBride just brings it down, tries to get to the lane and he missed, but Pablo was right there. They're starting to crowd the goal. They're starting to push the game up the field.
McBride sent to the turf. He's still down, but we play on. Hugh outlets it. Ralph is going to chase it, but watch it go out of bounds. Ryan McBride, former Columbus Crew member, now plays over in England for Fulham. His teammate, another U.S. international, Carlos Bocanegra. Jamaica forces the turnover. Here's Whitmore dropping it off to Hugh. Gibbs and Williams having a good battle. It'll be a foul on the United States. Free kick for the Reggae Boys. Trying to pull ahead here in Columbus. Fire, and that one deflected off Ian Goodison, who had Jamaica's only goal in the last time these two teams met, as we revisit Bruce Arena's checklist.
And there you go, backline organization. Yes, I think except for one breakdown, but it's going to happen. Flank play, I would say the first 15 minutes, but besides that, no. The aggressive counterattack, they haven't needed to yet. They've had good possession the first 15 minutes, haven't really needed a counterattack.
Referee waves off his linesman who had his flag up for a foul. We play on. Albright, long throw, looking for Johnson. Drops it off to Ralston. Service, McBride lurking. Good work there by Craig Zadie. Corey Gibbs, again, getting into the attack, slips.
Yeah, and that's what you like to see sometimes from Ralston. Instead of having to beat the guy, he lays back, he sees McBride, he hits an early cross and tries to hit him. That's a good ball.
Onyewu. Back to Keller. Under mild pressure, blasted out of bounds. Or rather, kept inbounds by Gibbs. Sane. Onyewu. Donovan Ricketts. Long ball. Won by Sane. Eddie Johnson flipped over. Andy Williams, and both guys are down. This may be a bit of acting.
So the ball goes up, Andy goes down. You can see, nah, not really. You can see he tries to get up. He sees the ball bounce. Andy's smart. He turns. Look at Eddie Johnson. Kind of turns back, goes over the top, and hits him in the head.
Yeah, Andy took an initial shot before Eddie decided to play piggyback.
Well, I tell you what, Andy Williams does a good job. He sees the ball bounce. He sees Eddie Johnson coming. He turns his back, tries to shield it. Eddie Johnson comes over the top.
We take a look and a listen. Our friends next door, the Jamaican call.
Breaks away from behind the defenders again. He's in the box. He shoots. He scores! The United States are 1-0 up in the 15th. Andy Williams charged with bringing Jamaica level with their first penalty in World Cup qualifying action. Here he is. He steps up to the ball now. And he's beaten Keller.
Jamaica.
It is 1-1 here in Ohio. 27 minutes gone. Andy Williams.
Could their analysts be any more understated? Come on, man. Get a little caffeine in there, buddy. You just tied it 1-1.
I just sit in the background and say 1-1.
This portion of the match presented by Budweiser. Ryan McBride. Eddie Johnson. Gets by Tyrone Marshall. Donovan Donovan lurking in the box. Ralston joining the attack. Slid across, and Donovan Ricketts timed that one well.
Right, and that's what we talked about. You can't teach speed. You see him get to the ball, beat Tyrone Marshall, gets his head up. And I tell you what, in this weather, that's a great ball. Nice and low. It skips. You hope maybe gets by. Maybe the goalkeeper Ricketts gives up a rebound. But that's a good ball. Driven low and trying to bend it away from the keeper.
Eddie Johnson just playing so much confidence these days. Give and go, onside. Johnson looking for two tonight. Not going to happen there. Ricketts might have taken that one in the face. He's still down. Now, there's a reason he's down and holding his face, folks, and you're going to see it in a second. And this is said reason.
I tell you what, great ball. 1-2, give and go. He gets in there. Here comes Ricketts, and look at the shot. Boom. Right off his face. And now you know why he's down on the ground. Watch this. Eddie Johnson just tries to rip it by him. Goalkeeper comes out. That's why you got to love goalkeepers. Comes out, just protects the body, throws his hands out, it hits him in the face, and he took one for the team.
Some concern from his manager, Lazzaroni. One more look. Great give and go, though, between Johnson and McBride.
Exactly. Communication, the 1, the 2, the go. And, I mean, and that's what you're looking for between two center forwards, how they communicate, how they look for each other. And I tell you what, great ball, back, forward, good timing into space. And I tell you what, Zadie on the far side didn't step up with the rest of the guys, and he kept them on side.
Johnson probably could have done better with his initial touches, but under these slick conditions, again, it's been raining for about the last 7.5 hours here in Columbus. It's hard to really fault anybody.
Now, but you can see his first touch was just a little where he didn't want it to go. It pushed it a little to the right instead of coming in at the keeper. If he comes in at the keeper, he might be able to do the same thing. Cut it to his left, bend it around him. But like I said, under these conditions, I think he did a good job with the shot, at least to try to get on goal.
Big Donovan Ricketts, 6'4", 182, is back in action as his defender outlets it. Mastroeni, poked away by Ralph, but a whistle. Lonnie Ralph has not been as much of a factor tonight as we anticipated coming into this game. That ball's going to stay in bounds. Steve Ralston sizing it up, skipping. Tough ball for McBride to do much with at that angle. He was already kind of beyond that near post. UEFA's most prestigious club competition continues on ESPN2 with coverage of the Champions League. Manchester United hosting Lyon from Old Trafford, coming your way Tuesday at 2:30 p.m. Eastern. I wonder if our friend Tim Howard will be in the nets for that one as he tries to reclaim the starting spot in the cage for the Red Devils. Zadie, Ralph, Corey Gibbs of FC Dallas is there.
I'm just wondering how much longer Jamaica is going to keep King on the bench before they actually put him in and take out Damani Ralph.
Gibbs, the Ivy League product from Brown University, down on the turf, right ankle. Take one more look at what brought Corey Gibbs down to the turf.
Zadie plays a ball in there, and you see him come in right there. And it looks like from the video there that Damani Ralph maybe just clips him a little bit in the ankle.
Gibbs is back up and running. Gibbs plays for FC Dallas. Speaking of MLS, the expansion draft coming your way live, 4 p.m. Eastern on ESPN News this Friday. John Ellinger of Real Salt Lake and Thomas Rongan of Chivas USA make their selections as they begin to form their team. Again, Jason Kreis, MLS's all-time leading goal scorer, was traded to Real Salt Lake for picks. So Salt Lake City already has one component on their team, and they may soon be adding Clint Mathis. That is the rumor that MLS already in negotiations with bringing Mathis back over from Germany. How about Mathis and Price starting up top for a debut franchise in MLS? That's not too shabby.
That's a great way to start. Plus, maybe then with the rumor of possibility of signing Casey Keller, you got to think yourself that's a good start.
Yellow card issued to Jermaine Hugh. This portion of the match brought to you by the Home Depot. Second yellow card of the game. Both have been handed out to Jamaicans. Speaking of that Casey Keller situation, as Mastroeni is tended to, I had a chance to speak with John Ellinger today, and a few weeks ago he was very high on the possibility of Keller joining his team, but it sounds like Keller's contract isn't going to quite work out the way they are hoping. Yeah, that's an all-ball tackle in my mind by Hugh.
That's an all ball, and as Pablo swings through, Hugh gets the ball first, and Pablo swings through and kicks Hugh in the leg.
Yeah, I'm not sure that was worthy of the yellow card, much less a foul. Mastroeni off the field, they'll tend to him. Albright blasts it in. Not a bad idea. Onyewu holds his spot and wins the header. Have you seen as much from Donovan tonight as you would like?
Haven't seen as much as I'd like to see. I think Lanning needs to get involved in the game just a little more. When he was involved the first 15 minutes, the U.S. was a little successful. They were putting pressure on him, and he was getting the ball out wide to Ralston. I'd like to see a little more out of Corrales. Haven't really seen much from him. So, I mean, those are the two guys I'd like to see a little more out of, especially in the midfield.
Ralston dribbling through danger. Donovan's ball intercepted. Sane sticks his head down low, and here comes Ricardo Fuller down the right side. Ralph making a run. As is Hugh. Fuller, juke and toe poked away by Corrales. Gibbs sent to the turf. Advantage, U.S. Here's Corrales. Corey Gibbs still down. Corrales not aware of it. So Gibbs took a shot in the hip, back, buttocks area. Rather large region the way I just described it.
So Corey Gibbs sees up, he turns his back right there. To see May, it looks like Andy Williams just gets a knee up in that back area.
That's Andy Williams, and there's Corey Gibbs. Pablo Mastroeni, who was just off the field due to a knock he took, is back on. And now the medical focus shifts to Corey Gibbs. Corey Gibbs may need an adjustment after this game, after that hit. And I know just the guy to do it, that one. George Billauer, team chiropractor, father of Jesse, who we talked about at halftime. Great, great guy.
I saw him yesterday night. I feel much better today.
Oh,
yes.
you got your adjustment.
Yes.
And I'll have to call up his room. Now, if Corey Gibbs cannot continue, there's a pretty good chance that the young 18-year-old from Arlington Heights, Illinois, Jonathan Spector, may come on. He has just taken off his top, and it looks like the 18-year-old who plays for Manchester United may make his international debut. What a moment. And a lot of folks in American soccer have been anticipating his arrival on the international scene. We want to see what he is all about. And we may get that opportunity in the next couple of minutes. Gibbs still off the field, so the U.S. temporarily at least a man down as Jamaica tries to push for that goal that will give them the advantage and most likely will give them a berth into the final round of World Cup qualifying. Eddie Johnson fouled from behind by Hugh, who's playing with the yellow card right now. Better be careful, Mr. Hugh. This portion of the match presented by Chevrolet. Now Eddie Johnson is down. And Albright pops him back up. We take another look at his hit.
You see Hugh coming in right there. Just hits him. Looks like maybe just rolled his ankle a little bit right there.
Eddie Johnson with the U.S.'s goal tonight, coming in the 15th minute. An assist for Mastroeni. Ralston sends McBride out for a jaunt. Gibbs stepping back onto the field. And at the same time, Jonathan Spector has reapplied his sweatsuit and his warm-up penny. So the youngster from the Chicago suburb heads back behind the goal to continue his warm-up. Nothing against Corey Gibbs, but I think there's a lot of people in our viewing audience who are looking forward and hoping they could get a glimpse of Spector tonight. Eddie Johnson might have taken an inadvertent forearm to the chops. Things are going to start getting pretty desperate for Jamaica soon. Not time yet to hit the panic button, but probably about another 10 minutes. I would anticipate, at least, you're going to start seeing more bodies thrown forward.
Well, you're going to have to. You don't want to give up your goal, but you got to start sending more bodies into the box. You might go 3 forwards, 3 in the back, 4 in the midfield. At least start pushing people forward and getting some opportunities. You got to play on the U.S.'s side to have a chance. You just can't knock it around and hope that something comes up more relaxed. You need to step up the pressure.
Monty Ralph given a lot of time. Floats one far post. Won by Steve Ralston. Falls to Andy Williams. Such ball control. Albright doesn't fight on that one, though. Outlets. Eddie Johnson. Mastroeni. Donovan. Left side is wide open if they can get it out there. Instead, they send Mastroeni on a run. Tyrone Marshall goes up strongly, wins it, but throw in for the States. Tyrone Marshall, the LA Galaxy. Been a solid contributor for many years for the Jamaica national team. His teammate Chris Albright plays it to Ralston. Splits 2 defenders. Tough ball for Mastroeni to do much with. Hugh. Ralph. Onyewu with the foul and will earn a yellow card. 64th minute, first yellow card of the game to an American, Onyewu.
Yeah, I'm going to say that the referee of a few of these yellow cards, that's been a bit soft. Guy doesn't leave his feet, he stays up, he tries to get the ball. There's been 2 or 3 fouls like that tonight that haven't been yellow cards.
Fuller. Sane with the toe poke. Donovan wins it. Behind his man. And here's Steve Ralston. This game's starting to open up a little bit, Marcelo.
Well, Jamaica's going to have to. Jamaica has to throw people forward. They have to start taking chances. They got to get the goal. The U.S. can sit back. The U.S. can take the 1-1. Not a big deal for the U.S. They're already through. Jamaica, on the other hand, right now they're out. They're going home on vacation if they don't score another goal. You got to start taking chances. You got to start pushing more bodies forward. And you know what? This is where you got to find that extra energy. You're in the 25th minute. The 65th minute. You got to push people forward and take some chances.
Mauricio Navarro getting a little trigger happy with the yellow card right now. The 3rd card he's flashed in the last 10 minutes and the 2nd in a minute.
And there's the turn, and I don't see a foul. I mean, I see a foul, yes. Do I see enough for a yellow card? No.
And it's not, that shouldn't be persistent infringement on Marshall. Yes, Johnson has been sent to the turf a lot, but not by that man, Tyrone Marshall.
Yes, he fouls him. He sees he turns. He maybe gives him a little shove in the lower back, but to get a yellow card for that?
You are watching live FIFA World Cup qualifying from Crew Stadium in Columbus, Ohio. Jamaica, the United States, knotted up at once. And as Eddie Johnson on the field, he has the state's only goal. Came in the 15th minute. Now, World Cup qualifying is always physical. No exception tonight.
No doubt. You can see tackle there low. Here comes the penalty kick. He goes in. There's another kick at Corey Gibbs. Look at Johnson getting hit from the side, and it's going to be physical. That's what World Cup qualifying is all about.
And the U.S. set to make their first substitution. Here's a kid I really like. Ramiro Corrales is off. Clint Dempsey is on. He is the recipient of the Major League Soccer Rookie of the Year award this year. Member of the New England Revolution. This kid's got a great future. He played on some of the younger U.S. national teams and with his University Furman as a forward. Due to a lot of injuries with New England this year, he had to play a multitude of positions and excelled at every single one of them. This kid's got a great future, good size, good smarts, good head. I'm looking forward to seeing him out there. So Clint Dempsey coming on. Dempsey brings a little more bite to the field as well. Jamaica is about to counter with a substitution of their own. Misplay by Sane. Fire, save, Keller. Huge save for the Americans. This portion of the match presented by Gatorade.
And that's what happened. The ground's wet. He misclears and bounces. But I tell you what, that's what you got to have a veteran goal. Casey Keller hasn't made too many saves today. Always on his toes, prepared, makes a great save.
You cannot lull Casey Keller to sleep. Damani Ralph coming off. Not much of a factor tonight. In his place, another forward, Marlon King, comes onto the field. King, 6'1", 170, plays professionally for Nottingham Forest in the first division in England. Second Jamaican sub.
I'm surprised it's taken that long. The way Damani Ralph's played today, I'm surprised it took that long to put King on the field, another forward, to see if he can get some kind of spark.
I'm surprised they haven't gone really with three forwards yet. Offside flag is up. Marlon King almost paying immediate dividends. Almost.
You see coming in right there. Just when he passed the ball, he's about a yard offside. That's a good job by the U.S. defense stepping up like that.
You think he's a yard offside with Gibbs?
Oh, yeah. I think he's offside.
You're the expert.
From the angle that I see, I think he's off.
All right. It's a big call going against Jamaica, who really desperately needs a goal right now. Again, the U.S. has already advanced to the final round of World Cup qualifying, where they will be joined by Guatemala, Costa Rica, Mexico, and Trinidad and Tobago. Jamaica trying to be the sixth and final team in that group. Andy Williams, won by Steve Ralston. Balls to Hugh. Hugh's been very active since coming on as a first half substitute. Turnover, Donovan. Behind McBride. Won by Jamaica. McBride avoids a tackle. Donovan. Going it alone and pulls back. Mastrani finds Johnson. McBride running off the ball. Service. Gibbs late getting in there, and it takes a hard skip and goes out of bounds.
And there you could see it right there, the combination between Eddie Johnson and Brian McBride. The 1-2, he gets McBride down there, but here's the problem. You got Brian McBride making a cross.
Ralston's numbers tonight, 50 touches. Marlon King applying pressure to Onyewu. Onyewu plays professionally in Belgium. Finds Sane. Donovan back to Sane.
I'll tell you, with Ralston with the 50 touches, I think he's been a little more effective the second half, getting up and down, playing some more balls. But you know what? He's playing smart now. He's trying to sit back a little bit, opening up the game, trying to get the ball. He's made a few early crosses, a few good balls in there, and that's what you see more of throughout 90 minutes. This portion of the match presented by Budweiser.
Jamaica having a good patch of possession here lately. They have certainly upped the tempo as they know they need a goal. Step up by Albright, out of bounds, throw in for Jamaica. Here is that Jamaican sub, Jason Ewell, coming on. This will be Ewell's first appearance ever for Jamaica. Just really received his citizenship. Plays professionally in England for Charlton Athletic. Ewell, another big body, 6 foot, 168. Whitmore, the captain, comes out. Theodore Whitmore has just ended his 156th game for the Jamaican national team. Well, all the Jamaican subs have been used now. They can make no more additions or subtractions. So this is the 11 that's either going to get Jamaica to the final round of qualifying or not, because they need a win. Why? Panama, with this victory, and we have to assume, which is always dangerous, that they're going to hold on to that 3-0 lead at home. That means Jamaica must be victorious tonight. Otherwise, it's Panama and the U.S. moving on in qualifying from Group 1. And believe you me, Jamaica knows that score in Panama. Saved by Ralston. Caught Jamaica off guard. The U.S. didn't do much to capitalize on it. Johnson's header intended for Donovan. Tyrone Marshall dribbling out of his back. Gardner, dangerous ball back to Marshall. Oh boy,
Got some confidence there, huh?
Confidence is one word. Here's Andy Williams, has the penalty kick goal. Dempsey goes low. Deflects that one. Give and go, looking for a handball, and they get it. A yellow card, I believe, on Onyewu. That's a second. He's gone if that is for Onyewu. My, oh my, how things have turned in the 73rd minute. That must have been, Marcelo, an intentional handball, what they're calling.
It has to be.
Has to be.
Has to be. Because that's the only way you can give him another yellow card like that. Because if he's coming across and his hands are near his body, you can't give it to him. If it's intentional, and we'll take a look right here. The ball goes, he's got his hand up. Yep, yellow card. Hand up by his head. You have to give him a yellow card. That's a second yellow. You have to.
Now that hand was coming up before that ball was played. You're saying just because it came up so high. I mean, his hand
It's
is
already
up.
up. Look, it's already up. Now, you have to.
All right.
I've been called many a times, and other players have been called many a times for that. The hand's up like that, you got to give a yellow card.
All right, so let's set the stage. Jamaica needs a win or their qualifying hopes are dashed. They're over, kaput, gone, finished. U.S. has already moved on. And now the U.S. has to play a man down. The U.S. has only used one of their subs, and it looks like Jonathan Spector is now going to come in for the U.S. as they add another defensive set of fresh legs. But for now, it's a free kick for Jamaica. Andy Williams, number 9. Boom! Clean hit over everything.
And you have to. Now you have to go more of a tactical kind of move. Now you're going to see maybe a forward come out, a McBride or an Eddie Johnson. You're going to put Spector back into the middle. You put Pablo in the middle, and you put your 4. You got to keep your line of 4 in the back.
Well, every time we think Jonathan Spector is going to come onto the field, next thing he does, he puts back on the green warm-up pin, and then he takes it back off. Make up your mind. Yeah, he's coming in, folks. This is a great moment for this young man. McBride wins the header. Kept alive by Gardner. Last a towering ball that's won by Sane. Crowd really getting into it at Crew Stadium. 75th minute, tied at 1. Kid's not showing any nerves there, but he's not on the field yet. Mastroeni stretches those hamstrings to clear it out. Donovan to Dempsey. Clint Dempsey, the only U.S. sub tonight thus far. That'll change soon. Eddie Johnson lays it off to Dempsey. The New England Revolution, everything rookie, drives one over the head of Johnson. Fans claiming it might have been a handball there by Gardner. Ewell slips. Here comes Ralston. This is going to be a fun final 15 minutes, folks. Real fun. This is a Jamaica team that is desperate for a goal. They're going to throw everything forward. That was the wise thing. When in doubt, play it deep and deep and long. There's Dempsey again. Ralston, his teammate with New England, to McBride. Thinking about Johnson, gives it to him. Eddie Johnson slows it down, cuts through 2 men. Looking for Donovan, too much. Oh, that would have been magical. This portion of the match presented by Gatorade. Would have been magical.
I would like to see him keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going a little more. See if you can suck the other defender out and then maybe slip a little ball. And if not, if he doesn't, then take a shot.
Blocked. Falls to McBride. Played behind Gibbs, who loses it, but is fouled.
I'm telling you, watching right now, Jamaica still has 4 in the back, 4 in the midfield, and 2 up front. They haven't changed their system for anything. They're still sitting back defending. I hope somebody told that Panama's winning.
Steve Ralston off, and what a moment for Jonathan Spector. 6 foot, 180. 18-year-old from Arlington Heights, Illinois. Plays professionally in England for Manchester United, making his U.S. debut in a World Cup qualifier with his team a man down, tied at 1s in the 78th minute. Better get rid of those butterflies quick, youngster, because Jamaica's going to throw everything at you. Everything.
And this is what the U.S. did. Eddie Johnson came out on the right to take Ralston's place. Corey Gibbs stepped inside where Onyewu was, and Spector's playing on the outside left in the back.
Gibbs marked up man-to-man on Ricardo Fuller, who's on the ball right now. Gibbs fouled. U.S. is going to try and slow everything down at this point. Jamaica will be the exact polar opposite. Last check had Panama with a 3-0 lead over El Salvador. That win, coupled with a tie here, means Jamaica is out for World Cup 2006. And Panama continues again. Dempsey taken down. Dempsey's been very active since coming on.
I like it. He's gotten 2 balls. He's actually gone at the defender. There you can see him. He gets the ball. He's trying to go down the wing. I like that. You guy that's going to keep going forward and try to create things.
Donovan will take this one. He also takes some time with it. Far post, headed out. Falls to Clint Dempsey. Sends another one in, cleared out by a sprawling defender. That was James Lawrence. Long ball over the top. Albright in a foot race with Marlon King. Albright positioning his body, shielding, and he is fouled. I want to remind you the fan celebration finale coming your way live on ESPN Classic December 8th, 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific. Your last chance to see Mia Hamm and Julie Foudy in action. That one live from the Home Depot Center in Carson, California. Best wishes to those two. They have done so much, not only for women's soccer, but women's athletics in general through their years. And we wish them the best, but their careers are not done yet. Jamaica, not done yet either. 80th minute, trying to get that all-important goal that could advance them into the final round of qualifying. It's all or nothing now for Jamaica. Fuller spinning through danger. Poked away by young Jonathan Spector, kept out by Dempsey. Saved a corner kick, instead it's a throw-in.
That's a smart play with such a big guys on Jamaica's side. Give it out, give him a throw-in, not a threat.
Out of bounds. And they're saying that's going to be a corner kick for Jamaica. This portion of the match presented by our friends at Phillips. Again, the U.S. a man down. Williams, shot blocked by Mastroeni. Dempsey heads it out. Low ball, cleared out by Spector. Mastroeni, Donovan, going forward. Eddie Johnson making a huge run, and Tyrone Marshall just there in the nick of time. But here comes Jamaica again, Jason Ewell. Chipped in. Ewell is there, skips to Keller though. Misplayed by Marshall, but doesn't get burned by it, heads it back to his keeper. 82nd minute, 1-1 game. Both goals came in the first half. Eddie Johnson for the U.S., Andy Williams from the PK spot for Jamaica. King. That ball sent in. Ewell trying to spin. Eddie Johnson playing defense. Cleared out by Mastroeni. Johnson just tees it up and drills it. But a poor ball, one right back by Jamaica. Kept alive. Nope, linesman flag is up. That crossed the line. Throw in for the U.S. in the 83rd. Things getting tense for that man, Sebastião Lazzaroni. Albright lofts his throw in. Eddie Johnson. No, you got to do better than that, guys. Tyrone Marshall, square ball. Ian Goodison. Craig Zadie. Jason Ewell, time to turn. Everyone back for the U.S. except for Brian McBride. And now he gets into the defensive action. There's a chance now for King. Cutting, firing, not much on it. Marlon King with an opportunity to give Jamaica the lead. Keller just blasted deep. Again, Marshall misplays that one, but he has cover.
The U.S. is going to play with one guy. They're going to make sure they pack the middle. But I tell you what, the U.S. in the back cannot take chances like that. Tony Santa tried to stab in and reach that ball instead of getting in behind him in good defensive position. You made a mistake and it almost cost you.
Driven ball sent in, looking for King. And that'll skip out. The U.S. goal came in the 15th minute from young Eddie Johnson, continuing his recent tear. He had a hat trick in his last game. This is his third consecutive game with the goal for the United States as we take another look at it from the Phillips goal cam. McBride goes up to win this one. Could be McBride's last minutes this game. Taylor Twellman is up off the bench and will be coming on. Don't know for who yet, but we got to think it's either Johnson or McBride.
I'm going to say probably McBride just because you want somebody fresh.
I agree.
Up front, chasing, maybe working a little harder. But then you know what? Eddie Johnson on the outside is looking a little bit tired too, so you could pull that one.
You want to take out the vet, or you want to take out?
I'd probably take out the youngster. Maybe he's a little more tired. McBride, you know, up front is going to win some balls for you, but you don't want to get beat on the outside and get some crosses in.
Taylor Twellman's hustle has never been questioned. Gardner, wide left for Jamaica, working Eddie Johnson. Johnson forcing him to cut back, and takes it away from him. Good defense from the youngster. Finds Donovan in open field. Dempsey making a run, receives it from Donovan. McBride is far right, so is Ed Johnson. Dempsey, though, continues. Holding his own, takes a shove in the box. There are sometimes you might get that call, and others you're not, and this falls into the not category.
Not in the 86th minute when it's 1-1. You're not going to get it. But I tell you what, here we talked about the counterattack. Landon to Dempsey. Look at Dempsey taking him down the wing. Good job taking him down there, but you're not going to get that call right there.
No way. Now, would Dempsey have been wiser to just stop that and dribble to the corner flag and chew up some more clock?
Yeah, he would have been wiser, but that would probably come more from a veteran. A young guy that just got in the game, got some fresh legs, maybe thinks it's an opportunity. If he beats him, he can put it away for the U.S., and he went for it.
In the U.S. playing a man down, Gucci Onyewu receiving 2 yellow cards in the second half, hence his expulsion. Jamaica must win this game or their World Cup bid to be in Germany in 2006 is over. Corey Gibbs played that one very well. Drills one. McBride can't quite stretch enough to get to it. Tyrone Marshall in the 87th minute. Andy Williams, such great footwork and an uncanny ability to strike it from anywhere. Serve ball, Tony Sane heads it up, not so much out. Gibbs to Jonathan Spector, 18-year-old. The linesman had his flag up that it crossed the line, and a late whistle confirms that. U.S. trying to get Taylor Twellman onto the field. And it will be for Ed Johnson. So Johnson, the U.S. goal scorer, comes off. Taylor Twellman will come on. This is the 8th appearance in the red, white, and blue for Taylor Twellman, the St. Louis, Missouri native. Eddie Johnson continues his goal-scoring exploits for the States. Goes to the bench. 3rd and final U.S. sub. See what kind of throw Ewell has. One by McBride. Andy Williams can't quite get one off. Offside flag is up. And Andy Williams is still down for Jamaica. Now, they say a tie is like kissing your sister. For Jamaica, the sister just punched you in the face. A tie is just as bad as a loss for Jamaica.
And I still don't understand. Jamaica has 1, 2, 3, 4 guys still on the back line. You're playing for a World Cup qualifier to get into the final phase. You should be playing 2 in the back, shoving everybody forward the last 10 minutes, trying to get that goal. I still don't understand why they still have 4 in the back.
Throw in for the U.S. Again, Guatemala, Costa Rica, Mexico, Trinidad, Tobago, and the U.S. have moved on. Right now, it looks like it's going to be Panama being the 6th and final team to advance to the final round of regional World Cup qualifying. How about the moves by Jonathan Spector, laying it off to Mastroeni. Tony Sane. U.S. has got to be a little smarter and better holding on to this result right now. Fuller with the hopes of Jamaica. And it's Albright sliding. Gibbs slows everything down, finds Twellman. We're in the 90th minute. Should be a couple minutes of stoppage time. Clearance doesn't clear fully. Fuller flops and gets the call. Quickly retaken. Zadie. One by Sane. Over the head of Spector. Dempsey collides with Zadie and wins it. Outlets it to Spector. Trying to dribble out. Loses it. Dempsey takes a shove and foul on Jamaica.
This is smart. They knock it around. Casey Keller comes up. Everybody pushes up nice and easy. You kill some more time, and as the referee's holding up, there's 5 minutes of stoppage time left.
5 minutes left for Jamaica. Try and move on. That's not going to help their cause. Ian Goodison with the foul on Brian McBride.
Yeah, they're only hurting themselves.
Absolutely.
A foul like that takes more time. The U.S. will kill 30 seconds off this. By the time they set up, everybody catches their breath. Really a silly foul. Should have got himself in better position, held McBride off, and let the ball go out of bounds.
And U.S. will play a short ball and again kill some more clock. Donovan at 22. I think we can call him a veteran right now. What a great play by Brian McBride to earn a corner kick. And you can kill another 20 seconds. Things are looking bleak for our friends from Jamaica. And again, they're going to play it short and possess. This is just smart soccer. It's not pretty, folks. It's not attractive, but it's awfully intelligent. Again, more clock time. Very subdued bench for Jamaica. Understandably so. Donovan. Dempsey. Poor ball, well behind his club teammate, Taylor Twellman. Again, 5 minutes of stoppage time, so about 3 minutes left for Jamaica. Fuller spins by Albright. Twellman hustling back. Sliding tackle won by Twellman. And then blasted out. Need to keep that one in bounds. If you're an American supporter, it's just fine for Jamaica. Goodison. Again, 5 minutes of stoppage time. Roughly 2.5 left in this game. And that's going to make it about 2 left in this game. Pablo Mastroeni is tonight's Chevrolet Man of the Match. Chevrolet will donate $1,000 to the U.S. Soccer Foundation in his name. He had an assist tonight, and as always, a hard-nosed defensive effort.
And that's what you put him in there. To win balls, to keep everything organized. Pablo's done a very good job of keeping everybody organized around him. He has stayed in front of the back two, kind of kept that diamond, and that's why he's Man of the Match. He has done a very good, solid job holding up the middle.
3rd minute of stoppage time. Zadie. Step up, Gibbs wins it. Gives it to Landon Donovan. Donovan under pressure, just drills one deep, looking for Gibbs. Gibbs gets it, lost his footing, but earns the whistle. So free kick for the U.S. Another questionable call made by referee Mauricio Navarro.
But you gotta like, Corey Gibbs, a center back, makes that run into space, so Landis got a little bit of outlet. There we go again. He makes the run, he gets a foul committed. Now they've just killed another 30 seconds.
This tie is as good of a win as a win for the U.S. and as bad of a loss, as a loss rather, for Jamaica. They'll each earn a point here. It stays at 1-1. And that point will not be enough to push Jamaica on into qualifying.
On any other day, this is a good result for Jamaica.
Absolutely. Great point. Donovan, one time, sends it in and out.
Jamaica playing away from home in a friendly or any other tournament, 1 point is great. In a World Cup qualifier, we need to win. Worst result you could ever get.
Now remember, the U.S. got a late goal in Jamaica to tie up their game. Jamaica trying to return the favor. That one's off Albright. Nope, he's fouled. Fouled by Jason Ewell. Rather, Marlon King with the foul. And this could very well be the end of the game.
You know, every 3 years, there's always one team that surprises you that doesn't make it into the final 6.
Guess who that team is this year?
You know who it is.
It's all over but the shouting for Jamaica. The U.S. up next for for them the final round of World Cup qualifying that begins February 9th. Up next for Jamaica, a winter holiday.